All right, my friends, welcome to episode 338 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter, maybe for a little more because Musk seems to be backing out. Over there is Anthony, the dev
He's
at
trying.
SummerSpeak. He is trying. It's like, oh, they didn't tell me there were bots on Twitter.
Not that many. I'm like, sure. Sure, dude.
Oh, my God. So tonight we're going to talk about the tiers of PlayStation Plus that's coming out soon. And we've been on for about 20 minutes trying to figure it out, trying to sort it out in our heads before we turn on the mics, and we're still not quite clear. So we wanted to capture some of that confusion this week. But before we get there, Anthony, how are you doing? You were down in San Diego recently.
I was. I'm doing okay. Made it back. Your weather got crappy after we left. It's been gorgeous up in the Seattle area. We've had low 70-degree days since I've been back and sunny. Although that's ending tomorrow. It's going to be 60 and rainy. But I at least got a weekend of nice weather up here.
I don't know how you did it. Literally as soon as you left, and until now, it's still overcast. Totally overcast, gray, cold, windy. I love it. It's great. But I know some people in San Diego hate this kind of weather. So
I'm sure. It doesn't sound like the weather that you moved to San Diego for.
No, exactly. That's exactly right. Usually people come here on vacation like you did and have perfect weather and think, wow, I'm going to move to San Diego. So,
yeah, no, not doing that. I'm fine. I'll come and visit. I like visiting, but I'm perfectly happy in my gray, gloomy Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, we're looking for a plot of land somewhere up there, so in 20 years we can do something with it.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be. Yeah, so this week we're going to talk about the PlayStation Plus tiers, which is PlayStation Plus Extra, and PlayStation Plus Premium. They recently let the names of the games that are going to be on the service out. And Anthony and I were talking before coming on that PS Now right now has something like 700 games. And when you go to the PlayStation blog and look at the games on all the tiers, it doesn't add up to 700. And we were trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm still confused, but maybe you have an answer, Anthony.
I don't. I think from what we said before, we're going to have to wait and see because there's mixed messaging on what PlayStation just released with this list of games and what they said was happening when the merge happened.
Yeah, because there was a large number, 400 PS4 and PS5 games?
Yes. The merge happening, and they said if you had the extra tier, you had access to those.
Yeah, because the basic tier is just like PS Plus now, where
what
you
we
just
have
get the
now.
free games, which is called Essential, which is fine. You get the cloud saves and everything else. The PS4 and PS5 game catalog starts with the extra tier, and there's a ton of PlayStation Studio games and third-party games. I'll just read a couple of them. Alienation, Bloodborne, Days Gone, Demon's Souls, PS5 version. Everybody's Golf, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, which is pretty cool. God of War 2018.
Yep.
Infamous, Horizon Zero Dawn, the original. Resogun, Patapon 2 Remastered, Shadow of the Colossus, Last Guardian, Last of Us Remastered, Left Behind, Until Dawn, Uncharted, the PS4 games, the Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, and the Nathan Drake collection.
Yeah.
And then third party, you've got Valhalla, Arkham Knight, Celeste, Dead Cells, Far Cry 3 and 4, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, Hollow Knight, Guardians of the Galaxy, Mortal Kombat 11, NBA 2K22, Outer Wilds, Red Dead Redemption 2, which I'm excited about because I have a disc and I can't play it on my PS5. Soul Calibur 6, which is the Geralt one. Yeah. So what do you think about the games that are available there?
I mean, it's a good list. I mean, that's the thing about it, though, is that if you're a PlayStation already in the ecosystem, you already basically know their first-party library is very good.
Yes.
So I think this is great for people who haven't bought a lot of the first-party games over the years.
Yeah, if you're switching from Xbox to PS5 this generation, you just walked into a bunch of cool stuff.
Just get that. I think that's the extra tier.
Yeah, extra. Mm-hmm.
Extra tier, you get a great amount of games that you probably will last you quite a while. I wouldn't say it's anything surprising, but it's like, hey, if it's a PS Studio game, here it is. And even this kind of like, there are games here now where I'm like, maybe I would bump my subscription up for a couple months just to play some of these games so I don't have to buy them.
What stands out to
That
you?
I don't care.
The
The Spider-Mans. I still never played the Spider-Mans.
You haven't?
Nope.
Wow.
I never wanted to buy them.
Wow. Damn. Yeah, that's fucking.
There's always
worth it
been
then.
something else I want to spend my money on.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It never becomes the optimal thing to play. But I mean, I think it's $5 more for them. Would I be paying now?
I don't remember the prices actually. I know $60 a year for Essential.
It's Joel, which is Oh, actually, it might only be a couple bucks more.
Where are the fucking prices?
Because it might actually be because I think the top was $100 a year. Could be wrong.
The top was $100 a year. You're right.
Yeah, so there's a middle thing, so it's not even.
Oh, there we go. Essentials, $60 a year. Extra is $100 a year, and the top one's $120 a year.
20 a year. All right.
So it's $100 a year. Yeah. $5 more a month if you just did monthly.
Yeah, I'd probably just see if I could do it for a month or two if I have time in what I want to be playing.
Right. Exactly.
Third party is okay. There's nothing that's standing out to me in there. I mean, good games, but
nothing you're dying to play though.
Yeah, nothing that's like, oh man, this is like must have. I mean, including Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty good.
I think that's I mean that stands out to me, even though I own it on PS4. But Guardians of the Galaxy stands out to me
that's
because
a good
it's
one.
a new one.
Yeah,
and it's the you could get the PS5 version. I don't know, NBA 2K22 is interesting because that's new, and I know that sells well, but maybe they've already hit their tail for that game. But the rest of them don't stand out to me very much. I mean, they're great games. Celeste, if you never played it, fucking play that game.
play Celeste. Control, amazing.
Oh yeah, Control's in there too. That's right.
But Control's been given out for free a lot.
It has.
So I never beat Control.
That's what I was going to ask.
I had a great time with it though. I should get back to it. It was really cool.
For some reason I thought Hitman was on this list. I must be mistaken. No, I don't see it on here. I must have been mistaken. I think it's interesting that Knack is on here, but Knack 2 is not.
I know.
Like, that ain't... I'm sure that's not racking up the sales anymore.
No.
So, Returnal is... I'm considering it for that kind of game and other games in that similar vein that might come up later. Maybe like the Pathless or... I don't know. I want Ratchet and Clank ripped apart eventually, but who knows? Maybe in a couple years.
It's clear it's not on here. That's kind of a...
It's a newish one. It came out last summer.
It's newish, and I'm trying to look at PS5 only games on here.
Returnal is the big one.
Demon Souls, Destruction All-Stars,
which they gave away, as a PS Plus game.
Yeah. Trying to look at things that are only PS5. Yeah, you said Returnal.
That's kind of it.
Yeah, and they probably just didn't want to put Ratchet and Clank in there.
No.
They still...
But I think they will eventually. Like, if they've got Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War 2018 on here, they, give it a couple years.
Yeah,
I can wait. I can wait. I want to play it, but I can wait. I have too much stuff to play.
Yeah, no, there's always too much to play.
And no time. But, man, Spider-Man games, woo-wee. Those, I fucking don't like Spider-Man, and those are great games. So.
Yeah, I've heard that, and they've looked amazing, too. It's just... Like I said, there's always something more exciting to me to play than that.
Do you think you'll ever revisit God of War 2018?
No.
Okay.
I've already had it all completely spoiled, which is fine. So I know the entire story, and that's fine. I don't need to revisit. Impressive game. I don't need to play it to understand it. Will I play Ragnarok? I might give it a try. So, we'll see.
I'm excited for that one, but people keep talking about how that's the only one that could dethrone Elden Ring as Game of the Year, and I don't think that's possible. Sorry.
I don't buy that yet. I mean, yeah, it's going to be really hard to do. So, Game of the Year already, Elden Ring, done.
Yep, in the bag.
All right, so that's deluxe, or extra. That's not deluxe. That's the middle tier. Extra. The next one is premium / deluxe, depending on where you're located.
And that's the classic games that they've thrown in.
Yeah, and I was looking at this, and this is actually kind of weird now, because I was like, okay, we got original PlayStation and PSP games. Cool. Classic game, remasters. PS4 remasters classic games. Okay. Why isn't there PS2 games? What the hell happened to the PS2?
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way because it's like here's PS1 and PSP games, and then here are the remasters, which some of them were PS2 games, but they're remastered for PS4. There are no PS2 games on here, and I'm pretty sure, last I checked, PS Now had PS2 games.
Yeah, that's a weird. The only thing I can think of is that the PS4 can't emulate effectively PS2 games.
I mean, the PS4, I thought you were able to download PS2 games on PS Now. You can only not download PS3 games.
Maybe.
I thought that was the case for PS Now, at least.
Too. I don't have any experience with it, but it's just weird to me. Like, why? Where'd they go? There's a lot of good PS2 games.
Something's missing here, and it doesn't tell us that something's missing. And as you mentioned off mic earlier, no one is freaking out that things are missing. So either we're misremembering, or everyone understands that. At the bottom of this list, it's like, and we'll keep adding games as we go. So maybe they've taken things away to add them later to say, hey, we're adding games like Nintendo does.
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know either, because you get that, and then the premium/deluxe plan, you get the streaming PS3 games.
Yeah. And this launches in Asia in 2 days, so.
Okay.
I guess we might know more. North America, June 13th.
There's an early look at the selection.
And it doesn't say, some of the selection. It's like, here's the selection.
Yep. Bunch of Ratchet and Clanks. All the PS3 ones. PS3 Infamous games. Resistance. Tokyo Jungle. That's a deep cut.
Which one?
Tokyo Jungle.
Oh, yeah. And I guess the thing we didn't talk about with premium is you get game trials, and they've listed 6 total.
Yeah, I'm like, that is always a weird one. I'm like, why?
I'm kind of excited about the WWE 2K22 because I've almost purchased that game about 5 times in the last month. And I'm like, no, I'm playing Elden Ring. I have no fucking time. But I've heard it's good, so it'd be nice to try the trial and see if it actually is good. There's
definitely a part of me that's like, I get the benefit of the time-limited trials. I just don't know why they're gated behind
totally. I don't
a subscription tier.
Yep.
Where I'm like, why don't you just release the time-limited trials for anyone on any tier to just play? Because the goal is to sell these games.
We don't want everyone to buy our games. Only a select few.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing with it. Like, why? Like, this is effectively a 2-hour demo. Let people ideally get hooked at it and want to buy the game. I guess you're only giving it to the people that have already given you the most money, so they're likely to give you more money.
Right.
But still, seems so weird because we were talking off mic, and I completely understand. This does nothing to say what's happening with the PS Now library.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it said PS Now was merging, and it was going to be included with the extra tier. And when that merge happened, they said there's going to be 400 games, which look like the Now listing. But nothing is said here about any of it. It's so weird. This has all just been so confusing. This is not a way to do this.
No, it's confusing.
A bad way to do it.
And we're like people who pay attention, and we're not dumb, and we're still confused. What's happening here? I'm excited to hear more in mid-June when people get their hands on it, but there's something missing. I don't plan on upgrading at the beginning. I'm going to wait because I have other things to play right now, but there will probably be some things that it would be more economical for me to buy this one of these tiers than to buy the games, I guess. kind of like you mentioned. Like Ratchet and Clank 2016, like I played that. I loved it. I played it once. I have not played it again. So Rift Apart, I'll play once and not play again. I don't need to buy it if they put it on here. Same with Returnal. Like, I don't need to buy it. If they have it on here, it's cool to do the upgrade and play it and move on.
Yeah, I'm looking at comments on this page as well.
On the blog?
Someone down here, on the blog post. Because I was just looking for now. I'm like, I just was searching the page for now. Like, do they ever mention PS Now? Sony does not. PlayStation does not.
Yeah.
Someone in the comments, I'm like, where did you get this information? To like, someone's like, where's the PS Now games? And they say every game available on PS Now will be available for the deluxe premium tier. And I'm like, that'd be cool. And that was the expectation.
Yeah.
Based on what was released before. It's just what's listed here makes that seem wrong.
It does. And someone in the comments too saying that here's a look at some of the games to come. But no, it says here's a look at the games to come. Oh, wait, no. Here's an early look at... what the fuck? It's almost here. Our new PlayStation Plus service is launching soon, and we're pleased to share with you an early look at some of the games. And then an asterisk that will be included. Availability of classic game trials game catalog will vary over time and plan. Yeah, it's some of the games because there's going to be more later. It's not some of the games at launch. These are all the games at launch.
Yeah, the key thing that would actually just probably make this way easier to understand is if they just had a chart that had the tiers and then with the straight benefits of each tier with a check mark on like what you get and where the PS Now is is.
Right.
Just be like, all right.
I'm surprised how small the classics list is. We didn't go through the titles, but
emulation sucks. I don't know. It's a pain in the ass to make it so that they verify that they're running well.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this is all just confusing. Really kind of annoying.
It's not exactly a great... It's like the Jim Ryan era of PlayStation, and like this encapsulates it.
Yeah.
To me. Like it's just
Did you read about his email?
I fucking did read about his email. Fuck Jim Ryan.
Dogs and cats.
Yep, that guy can get totally fucked. I don't know what PlayStation is doing, like being, I don't know, so different from like the Shuhei era and the Sean Layden era. But man, what the fuck, that guy, I just don't like him. He just never comes across as genuine or, I don't know, smart or a good person. I don't know, man. Something about him.
He just doesn't, he doesn't have the charisma for being the face person.
He doesn't, and I don't know why, who he fucked to get this job. Like, we're going to put the face of PlayStation as the PlayStation Europe guy. Move it from the U.S. and not have it in Japan either. Like, Shuhei's gone, fucking Layden's gone, like, and you replace him with Ryan? Like, guy has no personality. The shit he says is dumb. I like, Bungie was like, fuck this, we're going to keep talking about this shit.
Yep. You don't own us yet.
Yeah, exactly. Man. One of the comments at the bottom of this blog. Sorry. Fuck. Choking on my beer. Dying on a podcast. I'm confused. Did you merge PS Plus with PS Now and then remove over half of the PS Now games? Someone replied, no, most of the games still need to be announced. This is a small portion of them. And nowhere does it say that.
No, that's the thing. It doesn't say either way, so it's all just completely confusing. So,
yeah.
Again, I think they spent all this time like writing these big blog posts. I'm like, look at the stuff that's coming. I'm like, no, what you need to do is just have a freaking chart that just shows exactly what's on each plan. It doesn't have to be lists of games either. It just needs to be clear about like, this is what each tier gets exactly. And then you can have a list of here's some of the games that will be in those tiers, so you can have an idea. But whoever wrote this is just, I'm just like, God damn it! Did you have an editor? Did anyone look at this?
That's how I feel. That's how I feel too. Like, we're just two dudes. I mean, you're in the game industry. I'm not. We're looking at this and saying, you fucked up in about 6 different ways. Did you check this with anyone who actually plays games?
Yeah.
It feels like written by someone who didn't play games. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Did you know it was in PS Now? No. What's that? Fuck.
Yeah. I know you guys they aren't wanting to say the name PS Now anymore because it's not going to exist very soon. But it'd be nice to know what's really going on there. It's not instilling confidence. I will just stay with my current PS Plus tier. That's the basic one, and continue to get the services that I've expected.
Yep.
And not deal with all the confusion. And I feel like a lot of people are going to do that right now.
I think so too, because it's confusing and there's not a lot that's compelling. It's just I don't know. It's not just not compelling. There's a ton of stuff on that list, but I still don't know what I'm getting. Even though they've told me what I'm getting, I still don't believe that's what I'm getting. So I can wait. And then
that's the worst. That's the worst part.
It is. And then I can wait. And then historically, if I'm like I'm gonna wait and to see if I'm gonna buy into this, I then don't buy in because I'm like, well, it's been out for 6 months and I haven't needed it, so I don't think I need it. So there you go. That's our discussion of this fucking disaster of a launch. What have you been playing?
Well, I didn't play much of anything while I was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Switch. I just never turned it on.
Oh, cool. You were having too much fun?
We were out. And then at night, back in the hotel, I was reading a book, and then I was just passing out. I was so tired. I was so busy. Since being home, though, I was sad that I was on vacation during a Path of Exile League launch. So I've been playing Path of Exile.
Okay.
Like, it came out so I flew to San Diego on Wednesday. The League launched on the following Friday.
Mm.
So I had a week where I wasn't playing. So now I'm playing and just checking out the new stuff in Path of Exile.
Cool.
Still love that game. It's still complicated as all hell.
Yeah. It's part of the appeal,
but as
right?
an action RPG, it just continues, and it continues every 3 months. You just get new stuff. They never even charge you for anything.
They must be bringing in some good money if they can do that.
I think they are. And the stuff they sell doesn't feel bad. It's just like cosmetics, so it's like... Oh, and I guess some quality of life stuff with like your stash. Different, so you can buy more tabs for your stash and specialized tabs. That's where I gave them money for the most part. I don't know. I still highly recommend it for anyone who misses the kind of classic action RPG. Always with a caveat. Find a guide. Find a YouTube video that takes you through a starting build, like a League start. Just follow something. Don't feel like you, as a person sitting down with this game, are going to play it and are going to figure it out. Because that's not going to happen. Yeah. You're just going to get frustrated. You're not going to finish the game because you will die somewhere before probably even Act 4 or 5.
And then you just
hit a wall. Right? Yeah, and you'll be like, what do I do? And the answer is, well, you restart. It's not that it takes that long.
Yeah.
Because I'm already...
not gonna want to do that.
I think I probably have put, since getting home, probably about 10 hours in, I would say, over the weekend and then Thursday night and Friday. And I'm already at the end game. But that's just how you get when playing it. You just get used to it and can fly through the game. Beyond that, no, haven't touched anything else. I'm trying to think of anything that before I went on vacation I had continued to was playing the Chaos Gate Demon Hunters 40K XCOM game.
Oh, that's right.
I was having a great time with that. Still a great time. I'll probably play it again this week some. It's just like an XCOM campaign, it's long.
Yeah.
It's not long because of necessarily story. It's just long because there's just a lot of crap to do to get through, a lot of missions and everything. So looking forward to playing that a bit more. But I don't know. That's basically what I've been doing. I'm kind of just trying in a holding pattern, trying to see what I want to play.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Right, because you kind of, when
And
you finish a big game, you're like, okay, what's next? And you finished Elden Ring, and it's like you bounce around to a few things till something really sticks.
Yeah, and I don't know what that's going to be right now.
Yeah.
I have seen a bunch of people getting this game, V Rising.
V Rising?
It came out last week. It's on Steam. It sold 500,000 copies in 3 days. It's topping the Steam charts. An early access game.
What the
fuck
is
that? It is a survival vampire crafting game. And it's kind of has an action RPG isometric viewpoint, but it's not an action RPG.
Oh.
In that way. But it's like, you're a vampire, and you're crafting and building castles and stuff, and it's...
Yeah, build your castle, hunt for blood, rise in power.
Yeah. I don't know. It's $20. I'll probably pick it up, I'll be honest, sometime this week.
I like the art. It looks good.
Yeah, people have been talking about it, saying it's really cool, and a really neat take on the survival crafting game, where the crafting is also part of the reward loop. So it's not just, it's like building your castle matters for abilities and like your power overall. Wow. So it's not just, build, like you could finish the game with just having a little hut. No, you need to build a giant base.
Dang. Okay.
So there's some stuff I should probably play it also from a research standpoint, since I work on a open world crafting, less survival game.
I look at these screenshots. I'm like, people who made this at some point in the past liked Diablo, played Diablo.
Yeah, I mean that's clear. Like when I first saw a picture, I was like, "Is this an straight action RPG?"
Yeah.
No.
Wow, very cool. Very cool artwork.
So I think maybe next week, maybe we'll hear something about that. But
cool.
What have you been up to?
Well, playing Game of the Year, Miitopia. I will tell you, if these motherfuckers take my party one more fucking time, I'm going to throw my controller through the window. So I built my party 3 times, new jobs, level back up. And then it's leading to, in my view, the point where you can save all your old party members. Then you have a huge party and you select the 4 that you want to go take on the next mission or whatever. Evidenced by the big house that you live in, where there's only 2 or 3 rooms you use, when really you should be able to fill the whole house up. And that's what's happening now. We've collected 2 of our 3 original parties. We have 1 more to find. And then we brought them into like the Dark Lord's castle to go find the next group of our Miis. And then rocks fall in the path, and it splits up our party, and we keep losing party members again, still. And it's I looked it up online, like how many worlds are there? And there's probably like 6 or 7 more. But we're at the Dark Lord's castle. We're about to save the final group of our folks, of our party. So we're going to have all of our parties together and defeat the Dark Lord. My daughter thinks it's the end of the game. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that she believes that, because I don't think it is.
I'm done, please.
Yes, exactly. We're done. I think it's going to, some conceit's going to happen where the Dark Lord escapes and you got to go find him again or whatever. But I'm done. It's been fun, but it's the same thing over and over again, which she is perfectly happy with. She's excited that her grandmother and David Bowie are the strongest characters in the game, which are 2 of our party members.
Cool.
So, been playing that, and then played a little bit more Elden Ring. I'm kind of stalling out again on Elden Ring just because I only play at night when everyone's asleep, and it's kind of it's dark and heavy, and I'm kind of not feeling that right now. So I pushed into the capital. I got to the edge of the capital, and then our friend Travis said I should probably go to Mount Gelmir first before doing the capital. So then I went over to Mount Gelmir, and that's where I'm pushing into there right now. And then I had mentioned to him I haven't done any of Caelid yet, because Caelid scares the fuck out of me. It's just too creepy for me. And he was like, "Oh, you should do Caelid before you even do Gelmir." And I was like, "Fuck, I'm at 70 hours, and I have I have to do all of Caelid before I do Gelmir before I do the capital." Like, I want to defeat...
I don't know. I don't like the thing of saying you have to do this before this and that.
Yeah.
Like, play the game how you feel comfortable playing it, where it feels like it's leading you. I 100% believe this game just lets you kind of go where you want to go and do how you want to feel.
Okay, because if
If
that's
you miss out on anything, like
yeah.
Caelid is completely optional to begin with. Like,
Yeah, if it is,
never
then I don't
have
want
to
to do
go
it.
there.
I don't want to do it then. It's creepy as fuck.
No, Gelmir is completely optional.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything there to progress the story.
So, and you can.
Although it's cool, Mount Gilmore is cool. Like, there's some cool stuff in there, but there's different ways to get there, and it depends on what you want to do there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you've been to Volcano Manor.
I have not yet, no.
Because that's a different part of Mount Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Gilmere. And there's like a whole other area I didn't even find till much later. Like, I had well been past the capital, but finding this like other area of Mount Gilmere. So I don't know. I'm not a person that views it as like you have to play this game. There's an order to play this game. There's a loose order.
Yeah, I think I'd probably rather push into the capital because I thought it was interesting when I got there. And I don't know. Like, if I'm 70 hours in, I can feel myself wanting to push toward the end. I know I'm way far away from the end, but like, I don't know. I don't want to like to be a completionist and do everything before I move on. Like, that's like another. I feel like if I did Caelid and then Mount Gilmere before I went back to the capital, that's like another 30 hours before I get back to the capital.
Probably.
Like,
Probably.
I don't know, man. So I was just, that plus like, I'm not feeling the creepiness. I wanted to play a different game the other night, so I loaded up GTA 5.
Nice.
It was one of the few PS5 games I have loaded on my PS5 besides Elden Ring and Kena, Bridge of Spirits. And it was fun, but man, it just feels. I looked at the names of the writers, and I could be wrong, but I'm just like, there's so much like really coarse language, like just immediately, just like not that didn't feel authentic. That felt like we're edgy, and we want you to know we're edgy. And then it moves into the Franklin, I think, like the black African American character, and it's like saying the N word every 3 seconds, which maybe it's written by black African American writers, but I didn't get that impression from the names on the screen, at least. And I'm like, is this a bunch of white people thinking this is how everyone talks? It just felt like they were trying to be edgy.
Yeah, no, they totally. I mean, I don't know.
In an annoying way.
I mean, I look at all the GTA 3 and on, like, they're all pushing that edgy factor. Like, that's just, they do that and they push it pretty far, pretty constantly. It's not even edgy, it's just like hyper exaggerated reality in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. And I think if it's done for parody eventually, like, maybe that's interesting, but right now it just...
I'd probably say the entire game is parody, I would think, at this point, but
yeah.
I don't know.
That could be interesting. It felt very, like, just strong. Like, oh, wow, maybe this isn't what I want to play either.
Yeah, I haven't touched a GTA since 4.
Yeah.
And I played a chunk of 4, and there was just a point where I was like, I don't like this exaggerated reality at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's same way. It felt forced. It felt like kind of just gross overall. In the end, and I just was like, maybe I'm just not edgy 20-year-old anymore. So
I feel like every gaming podcast I listen to, that they talk about how great the game is, and I want to give it a chance to like I don't know, dig into the greatness. But right at the beginning, I was just like, fuck, this is not the kind of media that I like. Like the shooty cussing all the time, fucking TV shows, not so much for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. So playing that and Elden Ring, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So
think about the Elden Ring thing. I mean, we both know our friend Travis. He's very much the completionist. So
yeah, he had to put down Valhalla because he's like, I can't handle these checks. I need to check all the checks off.
So I'm not surprised he's approaching it from that mindset.
Yeah.
Of I have to do things in these order.
Yeah.
To make sure I maximize everything I'm doing. And I'm right. I mean, I'm not saying that's not a valid way to play the game. Play it however you want. I just also feel like you don't have to. Elden Ring is definitely a game where I'm like, you don't have to play it like that. You could go into the capital right now, play it around, have a good time, hit a wall, and be like, all right, I'm going to leave the capital for a bit and go do something else.
Yeah, I think
and that's effectively how I played the game a lot of the way through. It's like I definitely got into the capital, and there was a point I got to a couple graces in, and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting stomped here. I need to do something else for a little bit. And I think that's when I jumped to, I don't know, just pick a place on the map and start exploring.
Exactly. That's kind of how I've felt. That's when I've enjoyed the game the most. Was like just have a vague direction. Like I knew I had to go to Nokron to get the Finger Slayer blade for Ronnie and to find the ashes. I figured out how to get there, and I stopped looking at the guide, and I just fucked around. And I stumbled upon this shit where in places I didn't think I was going to stumble on it, and it was very exciting. So, yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do is, if I'm not really feeling Mount Gelmir right now, and I fucking hate Caelid, I'll probably just go back to the capital and start pushing in there.
Yeah. I think that's, I don't know. There's no reason to do Caelid if you hate Caelid.
It's creepy.
I ignored a lot of Caelid. I just did kind of the stuff that needed to be done there. The tower.
Yeah.
Radon. And did I do much of anything else there? The dragon.
The sleepy dragon, or?
No, I mean there's a sleeping dragon, but the dragon commune kind of thing, so I can get some spells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that was on my first character. I was just like, I'm done here. Second character, I've walked around a bunch in there and found things. Found lots of cool things. Nothing that I'm like, I must use this. Yeah. It doesn't even work on my build, but it was like, okay. Yeah. But it's creepy. It's real creepy.
Yeah, I just can't handle it. Especially, I just play at night. I'm like, this is probably not the best idea.
Yeah.
Coming in late at night and after I finish my music making to roll into Caelid is not the thing.
Yeah.
I should just be loading up Mario or something.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. There's a part of me with Elden Ring was just accepting I'm not going to see everything in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's just too much. Which is fine. That's amazing that there's a game that exists that has that much content.
Well, I'm the kind of person that, if going and looking for everything is going to make me not enjoy the game, I shouldn't do it. Yeah. I just want to enjoy the game. I've been enjoying it so far, and then now that I feel like I have to do these things, I'm like, I'm not having fun. So, yeah, you're right. Thank you. I'm going to stop doing that.
Your build is strong, so I feel like you could probably move forward. I do think you'd enjoy Volcano Manor.
Yeah.
I would specifically look how you get to Volcano Manor, because that's a different path than just Mount Gelmir.
Okay. Okay, I'll check that out.
And there's cool stuff to do there, and it has some cool storyline pieces that, again, completely optional. Neat bosses, kind of a neat area, but
yeah, I'll look it up. Yeah, because my character is strong. I'm wrecking shop, especially when I try not to use my mimic. I'll try to use a different. I have that Stormhawk summon that I really like, but if I'm getting on a boss or whatever, getting wrecked, I'll pull up my mimic, and it seems to make it fair.
Yeah.
Because that mimic is fucking owns.
Yeah, with your build, yeah, I'm sure you guys are just bleeding the crap out of things.
Yes, exactly. It's fun.
But yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was 338 of Prof and Dev Play Games. If you like us, please rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will see you next week when we will surely be talking about some firmed up summer games mess plans.
That'd be cool.
Yes, hopefully we'll have some. All right, folks, see you next week.
Later, everyone.
And I'm recording, so where the fuck is my